Greetings, this is Jeff with Enjoy Life Traveling. Today we are on Independence of the Seas, and I'm going to give you a tour. We're going to start at the top on this one, or at least near the top, and I'll show you around. So this is the solarium here. You got the men's and women's room on each side. So if your lady's wanting to sit on one side in particular, it's probably because she wants to be close to the bathroom. It's really nice here, the way they've got this little hot tub going over the edge, so you're kind of looking over. And then on some solariums are inside. This one here is on the outside. This is a Freedom class ship. Also Voyager class ships do the same to where it's outside. It's great when the weather is warm. It is not so great when the weather is cold. On the solarium, obviously kids only, you're going to have some softer chairs there. They'll have some padding, whereas the ones that are in the main pool deck, they don't have that. They're going to be just your regular ones there that just is a stretched material across here to lie on. As with all the royal ships, there's always some interesting art that you're going to see on the walls. So if you pay attention, you can really kind of find yourself looking at some pretty cool artwork. There's just hundreds of art pieces all over any of the ships. So definitely take the time to look around and see what they got going. Now, some solariums are at the very back of the ship. This one here is towards the back, but you're going to have your fitness center and the spa area. All's going to be kind of right in here, as well as up those stairs. So if you are looking for those things, this is where you're going to find it. That'll be past the solarium. So I'm just going to peek in here a little bit. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I do want to show you just kind of the size of it. And really, as you can kind of see here, it's never really too packed, at least when I get a chance to look through there. I'm not a guy that's going to be out there working out. So I say that, kind of take that part of it with a grain of salt. From what I understand, a lot of times, I guess, in the morning hours, it's a little bit busier than what you're going to find, during the day, which I guess makes sense. They do offer some classes and such that you can find. You can just check the schedule there to find out when they're doing those things, if that's what you're into. They do sometimes have charges with those. Some ships will have the steam rooms that you can go in. Sometimes they're free, sometimes you pay. Usually those older ships like the Radiance class and Vision class, a lot of times those saunas are absolutely free. Now, usually on embarkation day, if you're curious, oftentimes they'll have a free tour and sometimes sort of a tasting, so to speak, for getting a quick massage or a hot stone therapy that they give you a few minutes to try out. Yes, of course, they're going to try to sell you something. Now, understand that although they're on the ship, they are not Royal Caribbean employees. That is a separate company that is running the spot and getting the services. So keep that in mind. Even though it's done through the ship, it is not necessarily a part of the ship. It is, again, a completely separate company that does those things. So again, up here, I'm going to kind of pull into the pool. It's not a huge pool, but it does the job. It's usually not too busy. As you can see, it's got the walkway to go over. Much like you saw on the smaller ships, like the Radiance class, this area is absolutely beautiful, and inside, love Radiance class there. But again, a nice area, and it's usually a little bit more low-key. Of course, the main pool, those usually are pretty busy there. Even with the kids, they'll have their own area a lot of times, but regardless, it always seems like they end up in all the areas. And sometimes you have to have a little patience there because sometimes they'll be splashing your water. You got a $14 drink and they're splashing, dirty pool water in your drink. So hopefully the parents there, none of them are probably watching that are my fans. I'm sure they all take care of their kids. But you know what I'm saying there. I remember on one ship I was on, the parents did not have control of the kid. This little kid went down the stairs and pulled down his diaper and pooped in the water. They had to get everybody out of the pool and drain it, and it got down for the rest of the day and part of the early of the next day. So again, if you got kids, great, but certainly be careful because they can really ruin someone's time if you don't have the control. And in this particular case, if you just saw the kid screaming, you knew, I certainly did for quite a while, that they have no control, and then all of a sudden he was down some stairs and in the pool because he was kind of up there. It wasn't on this ship, but again, just saying. So when I say up there, there's going to be another bar up there, and a lot of times there are. I was showing you those chairs. That's usually something that is reserved for people that have a higher status with the ship, a little special thing for them. But there's plenty of seating. I know people get really worked up about the pool and the pool chairs. Yeah, you're going to have some of that where people are down here early and kind of hoarding the chairs. It's unfortunate. The company is cracking down on people. I got to tell you that. You may find yourself, if you do that, kind of just taken from you and held. So if you go looking for it, it may not be there, and it may not be the person sitting there that did anything. So if you're watching and that's you, understand that a lot of times the associates there, they try to watch out for that, so people aren't just hoarding the chairs all day. Now keep in mind, if you are in the pool, the chair is usually just holding your stuff. So if you're going to be in the pool the whole time, there's really no need to hoard the chair. A lot of times I'll just set my stuff on the side. I don't even need a chair. Or if I'm with some people, we may use less chairs and just put our stuff on one of them that's kind of out of the way. So there's more seats available for everybody. This place here, Fish and Chips, it was very good food here. This is something that, if you have some meat allergies like Alpha-Gal or something like that, that is a place that you will find that's going to probably be one of your favorites on the ship. Don't ask me what Alpha-Gal is. We'll get into that maybe in another video, but I'm sure some of you guys are unfortunate enough to know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so your kids area, they've got plenty for the kids to do here. I really wish that was a little bit more separated as to where they let the kids go, but they don't, so there you have it. It's colorful. They do a good job with it. Coming up on the ice cream area here, which is one of my favorites. So if you like ice cream, your soft serve is going to be hidden right in this little corner here. Ice cream has definitely kind of become an issue with me. I think I have too much of it, so I need to back it down. But as I'm doing this video, I'm telling you, today wasn't the day. I go at it way too hard. So we will step inside here. As you can see, it was a pretty windy day here, and I've got the sound obviously way down that's actually going on, so I can talk over it and you can hear me without having that wind blowing through there. I know that a lot of people do those videos, and it's, to me, they're a little hard to take in with that noise just coming through the background. So that's the approach I took in doing this video. So this is the Windjammer. Again, I'll peek through here just so you can see it. I'm going to just sneak in here and do just a quick peek, because the Windjammer has a little bit more in it than just the Windjammer, and I'll show you that here. There are staterooms up on this level as well, kind of behind things. So keep that in mind, that if you're looking for something that's a higher end, there's some rooms available on these higher floors that you can get to if that's what you're looking for. Now, when you're booking, keep in mind, if you haven't done this before, when you are up high, you're going to feel more motion on the ships. And also, if you're in the very front, you're going to probably feel more motion than anywhere else. And then second to that would be the back, where you're going to feel more motion. So middle gives you less motion, lower gives you less motion. Keep that in mind when you're booking. I know it's really easy to want sometimes the best, and maybe it's not something that you're going to do a lot of, so you really want to do it upright. And sometimes doing it upright might not be the best for you, because if you're sick, because you got some motion issues, and you book something that's that's going to be up here like that, well, that can ruin your vacation. You get motion sickness because the ship's sailing, and there's not going to be a whole lot of time that it's not. So again, just kind of bear in mind there. Now, on this ship here, on this class of ship, really from Voyager class, Freedom class on up, they have 4 stabilizers. They do a pretty good job. The newer ones are obviously even wider ships, and they do a better job of feeling stable. So these 2 restaurants, Chops and Giovanni's, you're going to find up here. So keep that in mind. You're really right next to where the Windjammer's at. Nothing wrong with that, but it may bother you to be. Some people, I know it does, if they're closer to where things are a little bit busier. The bar is right over here. You're going to need to get a drink package of some sort if you're wanting anything more than water from there. When you're thinking about the drink packages, they're going to have things in the Windjammer. They'll have flavored water, regular water, lemonade, some teas, regular coffee, decaf coffee, some basic creams. You can do pretty good. You really don't have to have a drink package, and you can just buy it a la carte. I believe it is $3 for a regular water bottle, $4.50 for a soda. Most of the beers are going to be about $7.50, $8, again, depending on the beer. And your mixed drinks, they'll have some variations on those to where they'll have some drink specials, drink of the day kind of thing. That might be $7, $8, $9, as well as they've been doing margaritas that are just like, I think, $6. But it's only from 4 to 6, but it seems like it's pretty much every day. But again, keep that in mind. For some reason, I was on a ship, actually I guess it was this ship, and they didn't do the margaritas for that price in the main dining room. Thought that was a little bit odd, but it is what it is. And so keep that in mind in the main dining room, that the drink specials, at least the margarita one, didn't work on this ship. Now, just so you know, when you're looking at the Windjammer, a lot of times people only think about, the burgers and hot dogs. They've got other things, and they still do the themes similar like you see in the main dining room, where they got, if they're doing Mexican night or whatever. They do the same things up in the Windjammer, but with just a different selection and more of a that buffet style. But again, so it isn't just the same things over and over and over on your dinner. It'll be something that kind of fits still the same themes that they got going on. Green apples, just while you're looking at that there, if you are looking to not get seasick or you're expecting some rough weather, may I recommend that you grab yourself a couple of those green apples. Those work very well if you're not sure, because people try the patches and they try chewing ginger and all the different things that are out there, the bands, and that's an easy way that can really help your stomach stay stable while you're handling the rough seas. So make sure you grab one or two of those if you hear it's going to be possibly a little rocky. Now, thinking about the Windjammer there, you may hear people talk about the washy-washy thing. That one of their crew members, I guess a while back, started saying washy-washy because they want people to wash their hands. And now it's kind of went across on all the ships that they'll do something similar to, if not the exact same, washy-washy thing to help keep the germs away. Now, some of the older ships really don't have some of the same things available to them as far as getting your hands washed beforehand, having, like you saw there, as far as just having the sinks. But some of them will just do sanitizer. So even for the ship that I'm on now, Enchantment, when you go into the Windjammer, there's not a place to wash your hands. Well, I say there's not a place. There's a men's room and ladies' room. So yes, there is. But it isn't like you see on some of the other ships where it's literally as you're walking in. There'll be someone with a sanitizer bottle squirting your hands, so you can use that to help sanitize so you can eat. All right, so this is obviously the arcade. It is a fair size, I guess. And so I just want to kind of give you a peek through so you can see what's what. This is something that if you think you're going to spend some time in there, that you can get some deals beforehand. Usually it's something along the lines of, spending $50 and you get another basically $10 in credits. If you buy it online beforehand, there are times where there's a place, I should say, to where you can make the purchase there. You'll want to maybe put some limits on your kids' SeaPass card as to what they can and can't do beforehand. Otherwise, you might find yourself with a bill. So keep that in mind, that it's pretty easy for anybody to have a card and start charging stuff up and not realize, what it's costing them. And it isn't like, when we were kids, or at least when I was a kid there, where you just stuck a quarter in and that was it. And 2 quarters seemed like it was an expensive game. Here, those are credits and they're not quarters, and that money goes fast. So it's not that big of a place here. I would tell you to probably not go crazy with the bigger packages. It might be one of those things where if you want to get a taste of it, that you get $20 worth, because I just don't know if there's enough games. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to show this. I don't know if there's enough games to entertain a lot of the people here. So, for me, I'm an air hockey guy, so I'm good with playing these games here. I love air hockey, although it's been a while since I got to play it. I wish they had that dome air hockey. Again, I'm 60, so you all know what I'm talking about. Hopefully there we had the dome come in and the guys with the sticks that you played against each other and shoved them back and forth. Loved that game. So we are getting into some of the areas that are just for the kids there, and I'm not going to go back there because things are open, so I don't want to get children in the videos. But if you're looking for the Adventure Oceans and the Kids Club stuff, it's all going to basically be up in this general area here. Again, with it being open, I do not want to try to get those young kids in there, and certainly have respect for the parents and the people here to try to avoid as much as possible putting kids in the video. So that machine there to your left, that is your prize machine, where you can pick out what you're going to get after with all the tokens and such that you won playing the games. Now, it's a little bit, it kind of reminds me, if anybody was old enough to remember that movie, The Jerk, where the guy's talking, pick your prize, anything up here, and, anything, and he ends up like pointing to like a little 2-inch area that includes the chiclets, but not the erasers. So they put some big prizes in there, but I got to tell you, you're going to have to really get some points if you plan on taking some of the prizes that they'll show you in there, because it's going to be pretty hard to obtain. So these claw games and the key games, they look like they are games of skill. They are not. Those things are programmed to, choose to lift something. The grip will be stronger, say when the crane's dropping. The key thing, you can think you're lining it up, but it's going to decide one way or the other from what it's programmed to do as to whether you actually make it. So it doesn't really matter how good you think you're doing on that. It's going to decide what it's going to give you. So don't think you're playing a skill game. I'll throw that 2 cents out there, and you can take that for what you will. So again, like I said, this is Adventure Ocean. I don't want to intrude on this couple here, but so I'll move on pretty quick. Again, you've got the area over here for the little ones, so they can have their time in here. But I'll go ahead and get outside in this. This is just the next deck up here from where the pool's at. And again, as you can see, there are a lot of chairs that are not being used, and there is plenty of space up here if you're looking to get away from everything. And there's usually places in both the sun and the shade. So if you're looking at that and thinking, there's too much sun, usually on the other side will be where you're going to not see the sun so much. You'll have more shade to work with. So you kind of have to work with the time of the day to find your spot, but it's really not a problem. Now, these casitas here, these are not something that you can just use. You have to rent those. On a sea day, those can be kind of expensive. And then on the days that, like boarding day, or if you're at a port where people are getting off anyway, you can get some deals on those if that's what you're looking for. It's not something that I've really bothered with. I'm fine with using the other stuff. So these chairs are just fine for me. But again, if that's what you're looking for, I want you to know that they're there. Usually there is the bar, the lime and coconut bar, or whatever the ship. Obviously, not all of them have those. But that's where you go to get the use of those, and they'll get you signed up, paid for, whatever you're going to do. And if you get those beforehand, there'll be a thing there with your name on it, so you can be sure that you're getting the proper casita that they have planned for you there. So I will tell you up here again, even if you're going to the pool, you could just put your stuff up here, and I have a little safe that you've probably seen me talk about. If you need something that's maybe locked up, you can just go up on this top deck here and put it up there, so you don't have to be so far away, or even something that's tucked back. And really, you're fine to go down in the pool and then come back up and sunbathe if you're wanting to do, or wherever you're going to be. For the most part, people don't mess with your stuff, so keep that in mind. Water station, that is free to use, but you don't want to use that. They don't want you to use that to fill water bottles up with. That is for a glass of water. Obviously, being that it is limited in size and how much water it holds, they don't want people to run it out trying to fill up those big bottles there. So that you'll do that someplace else. So where I'm walking around here, this is obviously the jogging track, and what to the right there, that dome, that is where the hot tub overhang is. That's the top of it there, so you can kind of see down. Up here, this on these stairs, that is an area that is very underutilized. I'll go ahead and show you, but I like to, if you're looking to maybe meet somebody on the first day, you're trying to get a group together and you don't know where to go, up here is not a bad spot. Right below this, immediately below this, is the Sky Bar. So you can get your drink and then come up here, and all these little things that you see to sit at, those are all free to use. You're not reserving them. You're not paying for anything, so you just come up here and enjoy them. I'm not going to peek in any because I can't necessarily see if someone's in there. So I did want to just let you know it's there, because that is a great place as far as I'm concerned to go and enjoy your vacation. and kind of be a part of the action without feeling like you're overly crowded. Occasionally, if you let the wait staff know that's working where you're at, they will find you up there. But again, a lot of times you're not going to get the same service for people coming around unless they know someone's up there drinking, because a lot of times there might not be anybody up there, and those guys don't want to walk up and down the stairs for nothing. So that area that I just looked over, that is the solarium I was showing you before. And so you can, if you're looking to people watch and spy out people, here you go. That's your opportunity, I guess. But you do you. That's not what I'm looking to do. Just showing you the stuff. I'll go ahead and go up the stairs here so you can see the miniature golf area here. This is Independence Dunes, so those are usually named after whatever the ship is that you're on. I did a little cut there so you could not be looking at people trying to walk up and down the stairs, and I don't want to get in their face. But again, I can see right here, there's another kind of hidden spot to where you can get away from things. There's glass up here because obviously it can get windy, so there's different glass panels in different angles to where you can kind of avoid getting this huge gust of wind. And as you can see, this is really not being utilized to its fullest extent, not by a long shot. So another great place to go if you're trying to get away from things. Depending on where you're at on the ship, the front or the back, you'll be able to get more or less of the sound if that's what you're after. This arch thing here, this is where you can rinse off. So if you've been getting sweaty or whatever, you can go there and turn that on and kind of spray yourself down, get cool. It's a cute little golf course, like all of them that they have. They're always very colorful. There's plenty of seating over here. Again, because there's just not that many people. They will have like little family tournaments and such that will happen at these places, once or twice in your sailing. So you can kind of keep an eye out if you're looking to do that, but also keep an eye out because if you're looking to do something with your family, you don't want to plan that when something's going on, because they're not going to let you on there for that. They basically will, I don't say shut it down, but they'll close it off and only have their event go on. And then once that's over, which can be, an hour-ish, 45 minutes, maybe an hour and 15, that time period will just be there. So if you're planning to do something with your family, make sure you check your schedule so you're not planning something when there's already an event and you can't use it. Also keep in mind the time of day, because the heat of the day there, if it happens to be a hot day, you're going to have trouble getting on there. If there is bad weather in the forecast, you may have people that want to get on there before the bad weather happens. So what you might be thinking you're being clever for, everybody else is going to also be trying to be clever in timing their stuff. So keep that in mind, because you may end up finding yourself with a lot of people there trying to do the same thing you are. And when you're on vacation, you don't want to get stressed out about anything. So that's another little peek over the solarium area. Again, the solarium is one of my favorite areas. I'm coming up again. I'm with a bunch of friends here. So this is Dustin and Ramona. They're going to say hi to me. So if you happen to see me and those guys on the ship, you can say, yeah, I saw you guys. You were on TV. I'm going to probably show you a few other friends as we go here. So bear with me here. And if you're my friends, this is your moment in your 15 minutes of fame on my YouTube channel. So as we go on through here, I'm really trying to be as thorough as I can so you can see, a lot of people, they don't realize all the seating that's available, and that there's, these bars that are like that one there, the Sky Bar right above that area I was talking about, that these places are out there that you can get away from things. And so that's why I'm taking this approach on the video here. You are going to get to see all the other venues as well. And I'm going to talk about what those venues are used for. So when you're going here, I'm not just going to just show you the ship, but I want, again, like I've been doing, I want to give you information as to what you can expect to happen in these venues, how they'll be used, and maybe what you would want to do if you're looking for different types of events. So as you look here towards the back of the ship, that area up above, that is your Viking Crown Lounge there. And we will get a peek at that, and then I'll be working my way down. So you're going to be able to see, all of the stuff that's going on in the main floor here, that promenade. I'm looking forward to showing you all the different shops that are available and the different venues to where whatever types of music and such. I'll explain all that as we go. So as you can see, as we're walking through, these are all in the shade. So there, again, plenty of seating, whether you're looking for sun on one side or shade on the other. Just because you're not on the pool level doesn't mean that you can't get what you're looking for. And again, sometimes, as far as I'm concerned, it's even better because I don't necessarily always want being that crowded feeling with too many people, around me, and unfortunately, how it is with some people, whatever's going on in their life, they want everybody to know it. Everybody's going to be a part of it. So there's no exception on a cruise ship. So I'm going to work my way to the back here because really the views that come on back here when you are just traveling and you can see the wake of the ship, pretty awesome. I'm trying to stay out of the way of showing the children on the videos, but sometimes when things are going on, some of the newer ships, the ping pong things are not just outside like this. So with the wind going on, it can kind of knock the ball around. But on this one here, it's not necessarily in the best possible spot because that ball will blow around. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The back of the ship, where I'm going to show you beautiful views, and then also on the ships, that have the track that goes around the outside on the lower deck. Sometimes it's on 4 or 5. On the very back is, again, some of the best views. So I want to show you what I mean here. Again, they've got the partitions to where kind of blocks some of the wind coming through one way or the other. And again, these chairs here in the shade, quiet, but if you want to come around a little bit and you need some sun, right there, very quiet area. Look, I got some friends over here. I'll see if I can get those guys to say hello to the camera. So Patty there is on the right, and then we've got Talva and Vicky back here. So I want to show you this because, these guys are out here, again, enjoying their best life, enjoying the scenery because that's a beautiful view. It's fairly quiet back here. It's a good place to be, so keep this in mind. Obviously, they found it no problem at all. Patty's a veteran at cruising. Talva's a veteran of cruising. I'm not sure so much about Vicky, but I think she'd cruised before. Regardless, I know that they were certainly having a great time. So keep that in mind. This is the place to be if you just want to sit and relax and enjoy some of the beautiful views. Now, coming up here, this is where you're going to see the Flow Rider. Now, I'll just go up the stairs so you can kind of get a peek at it. I don't want to impede on anybody here, but just to show you what they got going on. They've got the divider there so they can work two different sides of it. And you can kind of do more of a boogie board, or you can stand. Obviously, if you're just starting out, you don't want to push it because that water is moving pretty good. And it can throw you around, and those falls do not feel good. So I'm going to go ahead and get down from here. Check out that view right there with the sun coming down across the water there. I don't know. What do you think? Is the earth round or is it flat? Can't tell from there. I'm not trying to start anything. You leave your comment if you want, but I'm not trying to start anything. I know that everybody's got their opinions. So anyway, up here, just another way to get through to the Flow Rider. There's places to wait for your turn or to watch a loved one right there. And again, there's also plenty of seating back here, so you can still enjoy yourself. It's not overly loud at the Flow Rider, so don't think that it's necessarily going to be, something that's unpleasant for you. There's it really isn't that loud. Obviously, you got the water that goes through there, but again, not a big deal. So as we walk on through here in the fuel, this is an area that when you go inside there, that is one of the kids' spots. While the door marks the area, you actually go through on the inside to get in there. That's really just for the crew to get in and out of. So we are coming up on Johnny Rockets, and Johnny Rockets is a restaurant that you will need to pay if you're doing lunch or dinner. Breakfast, they include breakfast here as a part of what you get with your cruise. But again, your meals here or the shakes, that is something that you're going to be paying for. You can use that as far as if you got the drink package. If you've got those packages, they will work here. Also, if you got your diamond drinks, that kind of thing, you can use those also for the shakes. So I will just peek in here real quick so you can see it. It really has that old-time diner look to it. They were very true to what you would expect, back in the day, so to speak. And I'm going to give you just a quick peek at the menu so you kind of know what we're talking about here. Nothing on the back, just to one side. Not a whole lot of stuff there. It's pretty good. And Johnny Rockets, if you're not familiar, it's not necessarily a Royal Caribbean thing. If you go into some different areas, like I was in Seattle last year, and sure enough, there was a Johnny Rockets there. same flavors. Again, this is a chain that also is on the ship. But again, unfortunately, it's not included. I wish that was something they could kind of work out, because I know that some of the other cruise lines that partner up with some other people, they've made it to where that's all included. And to me, if you can give me a steak, you ought to be able to give me a hamburger. That's better than maybe what they do in the Windjammer there. It's gotten better. When I first started going to the Windjammer, that was one plain burger, and it's got a little bit more flavor than what it did a few years ago, in my opinion. As you can see, there's a lot of places to recycle here. They are very conscious with that. And this is kind of where we started coming in at. So I will go ahead and go up and show you the Crown Lounge so you can see what that looks like. And again, more artwork to look at here. Now, at night, sometimes this will be where they do the nightclub stuff. So you will not necessarily be able to go up there if you're not an adult when that's going on. So, and they'll have a guard there that will be scanning your SeaPass card, because your age and all that is a part, so they know who's who. I'll make a quick left turn here, and I'm going to try to avoid putting my camera in people's faces here. So that's what this little pause I'm about to do is, just to try to avoid, again, putting all that out there. But we'll show you what's over here. So as you can see, the Perfect Storm, that is a water slide that really you kind of just go sliding around this big tube with a group of people. And it just kind of sloshes you and brings you back down. That's a fun ride there. You got your slides that you're going to access through here. You've got a lot of things that this is going to be where you're going to get in at. So keep that in mind. They've got your sports court here. They will do some functions besides just what you see. So there may be times when there is, you got your rock climbing wall, obviously, but they'll have things with basketball that they'll do tournaments on, one-on-one. Sometimes they'll do pickleball in here. They do all sorts of little events that if you go into your planner, you can see what times that those are going on. So there'll be times that are there that is free time, and there'll be times where it's event time for the different, whatever they're promoting at the time. In the morning hours, I know that they do the pickleball, and usually it's at like 8 or 9 o'clock. But towards later in the day, you get to do more of the basketball and stuff like that. So this is the entrance to the Perfect Storm. Again, that's a fun area to go to. You can kind of see where the smoke's coming out the back. If you want to try to figure out why people complain in some of these countries about cruise ships coming in, it's because of those smokestacks. So they are trying very hard to be friendly as far as the environment, and a lot of the newer ships are working to try to become, just really not dependent on some of the things that can mess up the environment. They'll turn off the engine sometimes in port and plug in to the port if it's available, but it's not always available in all the ports, and some areas care more about that than others, obviously. But I know Royal's doing everything that they can to help with that. So this is an area for the suite guests. The suite lounge is up here. They have some extra access, so if you're looking to get a suite, that you get that extra of having a place to get away from everybody, and it's more exclusive. There's a whole lounge to that, to where you can relax and really enjoy yourself. And you notice it was a clock. There's not a ton of clocks on a ship. That's one of them that you saw, so you can kind of see if you're playing a game what time it is, because obviously you may not have your phone on you or something like that. One, when you're on a cruise ship, and then two, if you're playing a sport, because you don't want to land on it. I'm going to try to sneak past some people here and try not to get in their faces, or you can go look at that beam real good, so you can kind of see what is back here. And from here, I'm actually going to show you where, if you are Diamond Plus or above, where your area is on this ship, because it really does change on the different class of ships. So I'll just kind of peek over and show you just kind of what they have here. The other side of the sports court, and then that ball used to have that yellow ball there. They used to do like a bungee kind of a thing there where you jumped. I guess it didn't fly over real well. I don't know exactly, but I can tell you that it's really not utilized there. They just end up putting some cornhole boards up there and letting you play there. So I think that you'll probably never see that feature come on a ship again, because it did not take off very well at all. Got some nice swings here to enjoy if you want to watch people play. Again, there'll be some functions going on to where if you're not a part of the function, or at least not a part of it yet, you can just wait there for your turn or just be a spectator. So I'm going up here. This area is reserved for the people that are diamond and above again, which I've got that access. So I'm going to go ahead and show you up here. I don't get suites, so I can't show you that side. I was allowed a couple times to film in those areas on other ships, and it is usually kind of the exact same thing that is on the other side with the diamond people. It's just over there with the same way, just has the seats set up and a place to come in, as you're going to see, to get some coffee. And I got to get my card out here. Bear with me because I have to prove who I am. You're not supposed to open the gate that I used unless you are a diamond or above member. And so as an extra layer to get in here, you'll have to use your seat pass card to access. So as you can see, it's got place for water, it's got coffee. There can be some differences as far as what each one has. Some of them have a bean to cup coffee thing on it. There's usually, like during dinner time, say between like 5 and 7, 4:30 and 7:30, they'll have some finger foods out there for those members to enjoy. And then you come out these doors. Again, there's another key card thing there to get in. This area here is the public area, and it is also the place I was talking about, to where when it becomes a nightclub in that stage area there, they do not let kids up. There'll be someone up here right near the elevator that is making sure that no one's up here that's not supposed to be. Some ships, they will do your silent disco up here, but the late night area, a lot of times this is where you're going to find the DJ playing the music and doing the dancing. However, this ship also does have a Studio B, and they do usually what they call their red party. And in Studio B, you kind of want to dress appropriately there. And by that, I mean in the other time it's not being used, it's an ice rink. And so even when they put that floor down over the ice, it can get a little cool. So keep that in mind. I always tell somebody, I know you're going to the Caribbean, but you're wanting to have something that's a longer sleeve that's available to you, or longer pants if you're sensitive to that kind of thing. So again, keep that in mind. The seats are comfortable. There isn't always a bartender there during the day, but it's open. So this is another way to get away from everybody if you were looking to, play cards or whatever. The tables aren't always the biggest, but it's usually enough. And I would tell you that is something that I know a lot of people are, again, looking to get away from people, to kind of just have some alone time to decompress, that this area is a good place for that during the day. Now, you probably saw I just passed the Suite Lounge, so my card does not work in there. But again, it's basically the same thing that you saw in the Crown Lounge, just it's called the Suite area and different access. So as you can see, I've jumped down to floor 1 to kind of show you that area. So this is where you're going to be getting off the ship for your gangway when you're in port. Sometimes it's easier to take the stairs if you don't have far to go than to try to wait for the elevators, because it can really get congested, obviously, right there. And the earlier part of the day when we're in port, if you're at a place that's going to be needing towels, a lot of times they will have towels here, so you don't necessarily have to go out of your way for that. A lot of times they'll also have someone that'll have a place where you can take water bottles out with you, and again, just charge it to your SeaPass card. So that is something to keep in mind. However, once it gets a little bit later in the day there, the towel people go away on a lot of the cruises. So you can't always count on grabbing a towel. If you are getting off the ship and you're, afternoon, you're probably best bet to just go onto the pool area there, get the towels, because you might get down here and be disappointed because they're not going to be available. There's not a ton downstairs. It's more, like I said, just to get in and your medical facilities. Some ships will put their conference areas in that lower level as well. Again, more artwork here. I want to get up here to some of the higher levels, because really you're probably going to spend a ton of time in these areas, and so I do want to make sure you get a chance to see all the necessary stuff. Now, you can't necessarily go from one side of the ship to the other on 3. You're going to want to do that on 4. So what's on 3 on this side, you can't just walk to the other side on 3. You have to go up at least one level, walk to the other side, and then come back down. So your art gallery is over here. There's a men's restroom on this side. There is access to the ice rink, and that's what I'm going to kind of show you here. It's very similar. Some of you may look at this and think, oh my goodness, that looks a lot like the Vision class. And there are a lot of similarities. So on this ship here, they have an area where you just use your photos. I've seen some areas to where they'll have right at that spot I'm showing you, they'll have karaoke, a place to do that. So it really does vary a little bit per ship, and kind of don't necessarily assume where one is on one ship, it's the same somewhere else. I think they intentionally move those around. So again, this is Studio B. Now they will do obviously ice shows there. Some ships just have one show that they will do. Some ships will have multiple shows. That's more going to be on the newer big ships than on the smaller ships. But they also do free skates, and that's what you're seeing here is just free skate. You can go down on the far left over here, and they have a place to where they've got skates. You don't have to bring your own, and you can get out there and plan some time. And they have this open on this ship anyway. It seemed like there was a lot of time available to where you can do some skating. However, again, keep in mind that when the weather's bad, if it's rocky, it can be hard to skate. I've even been at the ice shows because they'll put them on a lot of times, even if it's rocking. And I've seen even these Olympic level skaters, hit the wall and have some issues. So I can't imagine they're going to let people down here if it's too rocky that are not Olympic level skaters. So plan your time here accordingly. If you remember when I was on the 80s cruise, I was talking about that on the Voyager class ships. They use this, and they'll have some of their rock bands, the actual rock bands from the 80s. This is one of the venues that they will use, as well as obviously the bigger theater. So it holds a lot of people, and then the floor is obviously just like you would in the old days, where they just get crammed in with the people trying to get close to the band. So regardless, any of the shows that you're going to watch in here, you'll probably want to have longer sleeves on, longer pants. Obviously, if you're one of those that are wearing shorts in the winter, that didn't even bother you. But if you are one that gets cold easy, there are several venues, and definitely depends on the ship. But there's been many times I've been glad that I usually have a couple of options available that are a little bit longer. So we are getting close to going up to deck 4 and 5. There's a lot that happens up there. So I will try to, I'll probably be moving relatively quick when I'm trying to explain everything that's going on there. I may even try to slow the video down if I need to show you what's going on and trying to explain all the things that happen. However, this is also access to one of the dining areas. So this is the lower level dining room. I will just give you a quick peek into here so you can see that. There's obviously elevators, plenty of stairs to get there. Don't worry about that. On the opposite side, though, and I will get to it, that's where the theater is at. So one side dining, other side theater. Now, most of the time on most ships, your dining room is going to be on the back of the ship. And so you can keep that in mind. So when you're trying to figure out, where's the theater? Well, if you can realize that you are near the dining room, then you can say, I know that I'm not on the proper side, because if it's dining on one side, the other side will be the theater. And even in the very rare cases to where it may be a little bit different, as far as where the dining area is, the other side will be the theater. So even if the theater is in the back, that's going to be the way that works. The dining room, beautiful area. I love the food. Not everybody feels that way, but I think they do a great job. The cruising has changed a bit. So a lot of times when you are talking to people that were cruising, back in the day, so to speak, they didn't have all the crazy entertainment. It was about luxury and, eating a lot and eating fancy meals. And now they really went to more entertainment on the ship with the water slides and the shows and, ice skaters. And so the food is still good, but instead of, you're not going to get a thick, juicy steak, you're going to get a thinner steak, that it's still cooked well. And the one thing I would tell you to keep in mind is that if you ever have a problem with your food, there's no need to settle for what you got. You don't need to complain loudly. If you just go, hey, this doesn't taste the way I was hoping to, if it's cold or whatever. If there is an issue, I'm telling you, these waiters will bend over backwards to get you something new and make sure that you're taken care of. I mean, it is so important to them. Their livelihood is on your feedback, and if you're not given those high ratings, those 10 ratings, it goes against them. And even though they're not the ones cooking the food, if the cook messed up, it'll go against their ratings. So they want to know so bad if there's something that they can fix. I'm telling you, if you say that there's an issue, they will get it corrected as soon as they possibly can. You just need to let them know. All right, so we are up another floor, again, because you can't get to the other side of the 3 without coming up. And I'm just going to kind of show you just real quick, since I'm over here, the dining room access. Again, there is the walkway over here, so if you want to go outside, get some air, it's covered. You can still get some sun, obviously, depending on which side you're on and where the sun's at. But, if one side isn't working for you, you can go to the other. If one side will typically have smoking allowed, but even that won't necessarily be for the entire length. It'll just be for a section. So that is something you can use to your advantage. These front tables here, it's funny, some of the tables that they have right up front, they really make those things decorative and velvety, because not everybody wants those because they're right up front. So they'll try to decorate and make them look a little bit more exclusive, so you feel like you're getting something special rather than getting something that's where everybody's walking through. You can, by the way, here's a little tip for you. If you can get the dining area on the ship before you get on, like a week before you get on, sometimes you can request a table that is in an area maybe that is like by a window. That's a little something that we do as much as possible. It's harder with the big groups, but it is still possible if you're working with again, maybe 8-ish or so. I've made it work on some ships. On this one here, they got us kind of close-ish, but not completely. So this is Boleros. They got dancing that goes on there. They will do some other events as well. And then this is kind of an extension of it for some extra seating. So on some ships, they'll turn this into, say, a Starbucks or something like that. On this one, it is just extra seating to watch the bands that'll play there. And again, they'll do some other gaming and such. This area here, this is Playmakers. If you are looking for a place to go and watch the game on this ship, this is where to go. Lots of TVs. This is a pay restaurant, so keep that in mind. Your drink packages do work, but all your food, onion rings, all that kind of stuff is going to cost you. And a little bit unique on this ship is that it also has the beginnings of the casino in there. The other thing I also wanted to say is that they also have some pretty good tables if you like to play games. There's some decent tables to be used there to enjoy some games. And also, since you're in a restaurant, if you're looking to get drinks, you can do that as well. So we are coming up on the staple of Royal Caribbean, the Schooner Bar. So the Schooner Bar will have usually a guy at night that's doing the piano, but during the day, you can expect to have different trivia games going on here. That this is going to be the location. Now, on some of the older ships, these are bigger. So you really need to get your seat early if you're wanting to go there. And the other thing I would tell you is that they have a little bit of a different drink menu. So if you're looking for like the peanut butter whiskey, they have a drink there that uses that is only available in that particular place. So this is Azumi. Obviously, it's right outside, and you can get your eat on here. This is going to be something that, again, is an additional charge for you there. Sometimes if it's a sea day, it'll be open for lunch. Other than that, it's going to be a dinner venue for you. Now, this is something that, although you can get it on the ship, you can obviously sometimes get some deals on holidays and such. I know some people believe that Black Friday is the end-all be-all of specials. In my experience, that's really not the case. I've seen some of the same specials on Black Friday that I've seen on Mother's Day. So it isn't something that is a hard and fast rule by any means. All right, so as you can see, this is the other side of floor 3. So you can go down the steps here and you get to see the theater. So again, this means that we are on the front of the ship, and we'll get a chance to just peek in here and show you this side of the theater. Now, the theater here, they'll have comedians in here. They'll have sometimes jugglers, sometimes magicians, sometimes different, song and dance. It's unfortunate because we booked this and they did have the full production of Grease. And this literally was the first time since they took this off of the ship. So we booked this wanting to see Grease, the musical, the full Broadway thing, and only to find out that we were the very first of the people that are not going to be seeing Grease because they've taken it away. So sometimes they'll show movies in here as well. So it's a multifunctional venue. And then if you are looking, when the huge surge of people are trying to get out and go up the funnel up the stairs, if you come up these stairs here and then go to either side, one side will have the ladies' room and one side will have a men's room. But if you're on that bottom floor, you can actually get out a lot faster if you walk up those stairs that I just did. I'll tell you what, that's a serious tip, because once you see how it works versus what everybody else is going through, you're going to know that I gave you something good here. So again, both sides, one side has men's, one side has ladies. I believe this is the ladies' side that I am coming through here as far as the bathroom goes. But again, once you get outside, right here, you can kind of go outside and relax on the chair, stand at the side, look at the beautiful views. As you can see, beautiful area, got some nice breeze going on. In this side here, you're in the shade. So if you're trying to avoid the sun, no problem. Other side, you're going to have the sun. So if you're trying to worship the sun, just go over there. All right, so that kind of ends the deck 3 and 4 area. I'm going to go up to 5. This is your promenade. This is the heartbeat of the ship, so to speak. So this is going to be an area to where they're going to do plenty of functions out there. Usually there's like a 70s night. There's usually a balloon drop involved. Sometimes that'll be on Sail Away. Sometimes it's on a 70s party. Other different functions, they will release some balloons. That's fun. Sometimes it's at like 10:30 at night, depending on the ship. Some ships, they do it at midnight. But again, just keep that in mind. This is a beautiful area. It can get a little bit loud sometimes. I like the rooms that look over this. You can get a little bit more space. It's still an interior room. It's got kind of a lounge area there, so you can relax and look out. All right, so there is the library here. I'll just peek in and show you that. Now, when COVID was going on, you couldn't find a book to save your life. They're starting to get back into getting those in there. And then this is also where you can rent the computers. Those are not just available to you. You're going to need the access that you would have on whatever you've purchased on the ship. So again, keep that in mind. This is also a great area to play some cards and be quiet. If there's a downside to it, it would be that there's no place to get drinks here. Now, the Star Lounge here, which is right outside and to the right, there's a bar there to get drinks, but the problem is that there's not always a function going on to where they would have a bartender there. But again, great place to go. Anything that goes on in this lounge, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to get there early, because the biggest events that are going to happen here, this place can just fill up and be almost impossible to find a seat. And on some of the big events, a lot of people just end up standing. So the tables are small. It's not necessarily the best for trying to play a game of any size. So this isn't probably the place to do that. However, during the day, they'll do, I've seen bingo in these types of places here. They'll still do trivia in here. They do games, all kinds of stuff that'll go on right in this area. So it is a fairly prominent place on the ship where they do a lot of functions. Sometimes the bands will be there. Usually you can get a spot when it's dance time, but a lot of times the more popular games, you can't get in there. So as you can see, that sign was just talking about the band that's on the ship. Just a little FYI, these bands, those are all contracted bands. They're not Royal Caribbean people, but they are bands that work in the area that they will contract to work during a certain time period, give them the room and board, and then when that time's up, they'll bring possibly somebody else on. As you can see, this is the shops that are open. That place there, that Inch of Gold, I would tell you to not waste your time. My wife had gotten something from there, and as soon as it hit pool water, there was gold no more. So I would tell you to, again, don't even think about it. I could not recommend enough that is not where you spend your money. All right, so this is Sorrento's. This is the actual pizza place. On some ships, they just have, this is like a park cafe, and they may have some pizza. However, every once in a while you can catch it, and so instead of having the cheese and pepperoni, cheese pizzas, pepperoni pizzas, and like a veggie pizza, they'll do occasionally a carnivore pizza, a margarita pizza. So a little bit more than what you can see on some ships will be off and on offered there. There is a little bar area there, and this area up top is an area to where a lot of times when they do like the 70s party between this one and the one that's on the other side, they will have some of the people that work there, the activities people, kind of doing their versions of, say, like when 70s night, the YMCA, and all the different dance things that they do on both sides, and they'll throw rings down that kind of flash and bling, if you want to call it that. They're fun. There's access to the casino, as you just saw here. But what you're looking at here on the left is, of course, the pub, which is on most of the Royal Caribbean ships, not on all. If you think that they are, you are mistaken. But again, there's usually really good service here. And then just to the left as I was passing, that is a spot to where they will have a guy that's just playing a guitar usually, and kind of get some sing-along stuff going on. So I think it's a lot of fun. It depends on where I'm at in the mood and the people I'm with as to how much I'm feeling it at the time. Also, if you're looking to make some purchases in these places, one, they are not Royal Caribbean people. These are people that rent the spots out, so keep that in mind. Vintages here real quick. This is a wine bar. They do not necessarily have every wine that you're looking for, but it's pretty good. I know in the planner that they will run some specials there for like once a night for solo travelers or single travelers to where they can kind of get together and meet. But there's also some larger tables in there, so if you're looking to to play games, that's another spot to keep in mind. Back to what I was saying about these shops. Be careful with it. Yeah, you can get some good deals. They're not always good deals. But if you have an issue, since it's not a Royal Caribbean venue, there's not a whole lot customer service can do. And so there's been obviously different stories that come out with something that maybe isn't the way it handled the way it should have been handled. And unfortunately, that's not much that Royal can do on that. So just bear that in mind when you're making the purchases, that if something doesn't work out, you're not going to get the help that you're looking for from Royal, because it's not their people. A moment ago, I showed you the stairs, another stairway to get down to the casino there. We're going to have another video out as far as a tour of the casino. That'll be separate. That tends to get a certain people that want to see that in particular. So that's how I'll roll that out, as instead of just walking through, it's a casino. I'll just put that in a different video. All right, ice cream. Everybody loves ice cream. Unfortunately, not everybody wants to pay for it. And this one here in Main Street, so to speak, in the promenade, you got to pay for that. So there's cotton candy in there. You got to pay for it. I kind of wish they would do it differently. Again, I don't understand how you can get 2 steaks at dinner, but they can't hand you cotton candy. They can't hand you popcorn, a scoop of ice cream. I wish they do things a little different, but again, that's their choice. And this isn't even always open. Now, on the top deck there, that sprinkles I was showing about that has a soft serve ice cream, that is included. That is free. And at dinner, they almost always have ice cream available there as well. Cafe Promenade, there are little sandwiches, such like that. No pizza, but also a lot of times there's coffee there. They use Starbucks coffee, but it doesn't go against you as far as like on an actual Starbucks kiosk, your drink package doesn't work. But using the Starbucks that's at Cafe Promenade, that is included with your drink package. Just real quick, I want to thank you, particularly if you made it this far. Thank you for watching. This is your customer service area here. Also, the excursion desk will be there as well, and usually the VOOM desk is right in that area as well. This little bar here, they don't do a whole lot of functions. If you're looking to kind of get away, this is a great place to do it, because they tend to do a whole lot less here than in other places. And so if you're looking to get away from everybody and all the stuff that's going on and not getting moved because there's an event about to start, that's a pretty good place to go there. So this area here, again, we're coming up on the dining room. Just going to take a moment to peek in here so you can see it. And then after that, I'm going to jump up and just show you a lot of the other floors that sort of look over the promenade. They each got a little sitting area there that you kind of look over. A lot of people don't know it or pay attention to it. But again, if you're looking to be a part of it, but not in the middle of it, but you still want to be away from people, I'm going to show you that. It's a great place to duck out, so to speak. You're not going to get a drink there, so you have to take your drink with you. But I think it's interesting, so I'm just going to take a moment to show you that. Besides that, I do again want to thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. It means a lot to the channel. I appreciate everybody's support. I've certainly got a lot of it from you guys, and it means the world again to the channel and to me, so thank you. I'll get over here so you can see the floor map of what's on this floor real quick, and then I will show you that area I was talking about. So again, you can see there's really nothing other than staterooms above or below where I started out. So I haven't really left anything out except for, like I said, it's got those little nooks to where if you're trying to get away from everybody, that's where you go. And whenever you're looking at these, the ship, you see it's at the front. That means that is the front of the ship. They're telling you the direction things are going. So if you're trying to figure out forward or backward, that's it. All right, this is the spot I was talking about. It kind of looks over. It's glass, closed in, so it's not noisy, but it's got some chairs. And just real quick, you can see some people found those. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.